So I guess they're going to officially make a push to try to have Derek Chauvin, the gentleman who kneeled on George Floyd's neck. I guess they're really about to make a really hard push to get him released from jail. I was on social media not even 30 minutes ago, and I created this rule like 5 years ago. I wasn't going to scroll social media anymore outside of YouTube. And so I think it was meant for me to see this video because I got on Instagram for a specific reason, and this video was at the top of the feed. And we're about to listen to a gentleman not only advocate for the release of Derek Chauvin, but he said that America will not be whole again. Now that Trump is back in office, America will not be whole again until we have Derek Chauvin released from jail. Now, let me say this before we start this video. I do not agree with Black Lives Matter, the organization. I think it was corrupt. I think it was proven that the organization is corrupt. I don't support those people. I want to state that for those of you who are new to this channel and just look at me as a so-called Black American and just make certain assumptions about what my political beliefs are, because you'll be sadly mistaken. I'm somewhere in the middle right? I'm more right-leaning than anything else. But this clip right here, I just don't agree with.
America will not be made whole until we receive justice for Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin did not commit murder. Derek Chauvin should not be where he is right now. The truth must come out about what happened with George Floyd. It was a lie, and it was always a lie. And when Derek Chauvin is a free man, I will personally lead the lawsuit against Black Lives Matter and the millions of dollars that they took from his name.
I mean, if you just look at his reaction, he really felt like he said something there, probably because he's in a room full of people that are more than likely going to agree with him. Now, what are my thoughts on this so far? Before we continue this clip, let me just say, I said maybe 2 or 3 videos ago that a lot of people are going to come out and be a lot more bold and say how they really feel about certain topics now that Trump is back in the office. But I will also say, to be fair, that a lot of people have been advocating for the release of Derek Chauvin for the past, almost 5 years now. And maybe this guy, his name is Jack Posobiec or Posobiec. Maybe he's one of those people that's been advocating for it. So I don't want to just accuse him of that. But I think it's very interesting because whether you believe or whichever side or whichever expert you're choosing to believe, whether he was unalived by the drugs in his system, whether he was unalived by the nail on his neck, I think as human beings, we can all come together and look at the video clip, because I think a lot of people don't know the facts. I think a lot of people, whether they know the facts or not, are not remembering actually what happened when they're watching the actual interaction between Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. Regardless of what the final blow, what the most significant contributor was to his demise, that being George Floyd, we have to, as human beings, all agree, looking at this clip, because a lot of people forgot about it, that at one point in time, Derek Chauvin continued to kneel on this man's neck, despite the fact that George Floyd stopped resisting. He wasn't fighting anymore. His body went limp.
Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe shit.
Bro, get up, get in the car, man.
I will.
Get up, get in the car.
I can't move.
I've been waiting the whole time, man. Get up, get in the car.
Mama.
Get up and get in the car right.
I can't.
You gave y'all the opportunity to get in, bro. I told you can't win.
My knee.
You can't win, man.
I'm through.
I know you're a nigga, you didn't listen.
I'm claustrophobic. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. Get some water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe all the time.
Derek Chauvin continued to kneel his knee on this man's neck. He continued to not provide first aid to this man. As a human being, that alone, you should serve time. Significant time. Because that showed very little regard for human life. So speaking of crazy, many times on this channel, I've mentioned that last year was the craziest year of my life, and I stand by that. And another reason that made last year crazy was because of data security. As it's been reported, that there were a lot of alarming vulnerabilities and high-profile breaches that took place, exposing personal information on a massive scale. So, for example, when you look at Dell, they reported that there were over 3.9 million breaches of customer accounts and compromised sensitive details. Ticketmaster's breach was even larger, with over 560 million records exposed. However, the most concerning incident came just a few months ago when the National Public Data reported a breach of catastrophic proportions. This breach potentially affects every single American, compromising over 2.9 billion records used for background checks. These records include names, addresses, date of birth, phone numbers, but most critically and most importantly, people's social security numbers. To make matters even worse, the perpetrators have even already released this information online completely free of charge. If this doesn't make you reconsider how seriously you protect your personal information, it should. In a world where our data is constantly at risk, protecting yourself and your loved ones isn't just an option, it's a necessity. That's why I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura takes a proactive approach to safeguarding personal data. It monitors key details such as your social security number across billions of data points, including the dark web and public court records. If there's suspicious activity, Aura sends real-time alerts so you're always in the know. And if the unthinkable happens, they back their service with up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. But Aura doesn't just stop there. They've created a suite of tools to keep you and your family secure. Real-time notifications for data breaches, a secure VPN for private browsing, tools to opt out of data brokers selling your information, a robust password manager for creating and securely storing strong passwords. I personally take my family's security extremely serious, and I encourage you all to do the same, right? Visit aura.com/DDGotAPodcast. Again, that's aura.com/DDGotAPodcast to start your free 2-week trial. Aura can determine if your personal data is already exposed. Take control of your digital security today, because protecting what matters most is worth it. Because the argument of he had drugs in his system and he was going to pass away anyways is already like, the coincidence of that is so crazy. But you said, no, it's the combination of the drugs in his system and his heightened state, his heightened emotion. That's what did it. That's very convenient. But even if that's the truth, why did Derek Chauvin not play his role in trying to save this human being's life? He added to it. That alone, you deserve time, bro. But it seems that these people don't care about that.
Every single lie will be undone. Every single truth will be restored, because then and only then can we have America back. And I'm talking about the real America, folks. I'm talking about America where on Easter Sunday and Good Friday in New York City, you could see the 3 crosses of Calvary there on the New York City skyline.
Listen, I just want to interrupt for just a sec to say, if you are enjoying this video, I ask that you please hit that like button. If you enjoy my content, if you want to help the channel, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps pushes my video out there. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to my second channel if you have not subscribed yet. Link is in the description. I became friends with, one of my closest friends is this Caucasian guy who I met right after the George Floyd situation. I mean, like weeks after it happened in 2020. So can you imagine meeting a guy for the first time weeks after George Floyd was unalived, and it's national news? Of course, it's actually international news by this point in time. And he tells me, and I had a lot of respect for him, that he didn't agree that George Floyd was murdered. He said he didn't agree with it. He's looked into it, and I respected the fact that he was willing to tell me that, especially in the type of society and the culture and climate we were in 2020. I had a lot of respect for him for telling me that, but also I have respect because he wanted to delve into the details of it, what the experts were saying, what the autopsy was coming out and revealing. Like, he wanted to delve into that. And while we had a fiery debate, we met up, had a drink, and talked about it. We probably talked for 2 hours. And it actually made us closer because we respected the fact that something so controversial, we could be honest with each other about. And I'll say he and I both moved a little bit closer to the middle on where we originally started. I still believe that Derek Chauvin should be charged for murder, for contributing, because there was a better way that he could have held that person down. For almost 9 minutes, that's extreme, bro. That's extreme. And I think my friend went from saying that Derek Chauvin was completely innocent to understanding how Derek Chauvin contributed to it, despite the fact that, let's be clear, George Floyd got himself in that situation. George Floyd is the reason things became so extreme. But George Floyd, at one point, his body stopped moving. At one point, he stopped speaking. Derek Chauvin was on this man's neck for almost 9 minutes. A doctor testified that alone will unalive a person. An MMA fighter was present and talked about the dangers of the placement of the knee on this man's neck. I understand both sides, and I don't just automatically say racism is the reason people want Derek Chauvin. I think that's the case in some regards, sure. But I think other people are just looking at it for what it is, color aside. They really believe that Derek Chauvin is innocent. So all I'm saying is, when I see a clip like this, it once again makes me wonder what certain people's agenda is. Because do you want him to be free because he served time? Or do you want him to be free because he shouldn't have served any time at all? Like, help me understand your position here. Y'all up in the comment section, y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all believe that he was unalived by the kneeling on his neck? Do you think it was the drugs? Which side are you believing? Because both the defense and the prosecution had both sides to present. I just think this is going to get very, very heated. A lot of people are talking about fighting back against this because they don't support it. So I'm curious to know what you all think as well. Hop in the comment section. Let me know what you think, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah. DD got a podcast.